What's going on, guys? Gohash here, and today I have a different type of video that I normally put out for you guys. This video has nothing to do with anime, but it's always something that I've wanted to put out for people because I believed it could be very beneficial for everyone. So this video is going to be about a moment that changed my life and how it's impacted me to this day. So it's been 7 years since that moment has changed my life, and I remember it like it was yesterday. The day was April 11th, 2014. It was a Friday during the springtime, and I was in high school at the time, so I was on the boys varsity track team. We were going to have a home track meet that afternoon, and back then my life kind of revolved around sports, so that's all I was really thinking about that morning leading up to it. So I'm in school, I'm going through a couple of the classes early in the morning, and then suddenly I get called to the principal's office at around, I believe, like 10 a.m. At the time I was kind of confused because I didn't really do anything, I didn't know what I did, and I was hoping that it wouldn't affect me competing that afternoon for the track meet. So I end up going to the principal's office, and once I get into his office, I'm greeted by the principal and then my aunt and uncle. So as soon as I saw them, I kind of realized that something wasn't right because they live an hour away, so there would be no reason for them to be at my school, my principal's office, that early in the morning. And that's when they told me that my father had passed away early in the morning due to a massive heart attack in his sleep. And I really just remember being shell-shocked and just being overwhelmed with emotions and not knowing how to feel at that time because it felt so unreal that this was life and that just happened. And once things settled down, we had to go over to the middle school to tell my little brother what had happened. And he's 7 years younger than me, so it was harder for him to understand what had happened because he was only 10 years old at the time. So then later in the afternoon, my track coach and then some of my teammates that are my real good friends come to kind of give me some support, and my coach tells me that, hey, if you don't want to compete today, it's totally fine. We all understand what you're going through. This is more important. So I took a moment to look at my coach, I looked at my teammates, and I just thought to myself, what my dad would have wanted. Because my dad was always my number one supporter when it came to my athletics or anything that I was interested in. He always wanted me to push to be the best that I could be and would have never wanted anything to get in the way of those things that I enjoyed and I loved to do. So I told my coach that I wanted to compete. In my mind for those reasons, but then at the same time looking at them, looking at my teammates, knowing that they depend on me to be there and they depend on me to perform in order for us to win. Like, we all want to win. So I chose to compete that day. And I can't lie, it was hard, but I stuck through it. I competed all the way through the end. And to be honest, I also needed it as well because I just wanted to escape my reality for a moment. I wanted to get away from everything that was happening because it all felt very surreal and it felt like I was just dreaming. It felt like it was a dream that I wasn't going to wake up from. So then fast forward to the calling hours where all of my dad's friends, acquaintances, and coworkers come to show the family support. For me, the calling hours and the funeral were probably the hardest on me because, especially the calling hours, because I was trying to stay strong as, one by one, each friend or coworker or acquaintance, comes up to shake your hand or to give you a hug and just, give you support and give you love. And me, I'm the third person. I hold things in and I'm more of a introvert. So I try to keep things to myself and I enjoy my privacy. So I wanted nothing more than to just get away, just to get away from everything. And then when the calling hours ended, I just remembered that I broke down and just let it all out. It was just so full of many different emotions. It was just overwhelming. After the calling hours, that's when I realized that, this was real and it was not going away. And we were going to have to find a way to keep moving forward with our lives. Then at the funeral, I remember that I made a promise to myself. I promised that I would become the strongest version of myself, not only for myself, but for my family, for my mother, my brother, everyone. I promised myself that I would become strong in all forms, physical, mental, and emotional. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to set an example, and I wanted to be that rock for everyone, like my dad was that rock for me. Because, my father was always someone that I could depend on, someone that I could always trust. And no matter what, I always knew that if I needed anything, he would get it done, and he would find a way to help me. So losing him made me realize that I needed to hold myself down. I needed to be more responsible. Because at that age, I wasn't really thinking of the future. I wasn't really thinking of possibly college or getting a job or a career path. Those things weren't on my mind. And not knowing what lied ahead in my future just scared the hell out of me. Losing my father really made me take a hold of my life for myself and choose my own path. And that's exactly what I did. And 7 years later, I can still tell you to this day that I've stayed true to that promise that I made to myself back then. Regardless of the challenge, regardless of whatever was going on in my life, I always thought about that, and I always strived to be the best version of myself, and always pushed to be stronger and pushed to be better, no matter what. And obviously losing my father sucked. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. But in a way, it kind of helped me grow the fuck up and just take ownership for my life. But the biggest takeaway I want you guys to grasp from this video and from my experience is that there's a lot of things you can't control in this world. But what we can control is how we react to those things. And I kind of see it as two options that we have. We can either let that experience bring us down and hold us back, or we can look at it as an opportunity to grow and learn from that experience in order to keep moving forward and to keep becoming the best version of ourselves. That's all I got for you guys today. If you stuck through to the end, I really appreciate it. And if you enjoy this video, leave a like down below. If you think this video can be helpful to someone in your life, share it with them, because like I said at the beginning of the video, all I want to do with this video is to kind of give some perspective and to just kind of help people with my story and from my experience. I'll see you next time.